This is the plaintiff, William Searles. He says he was hired by the defendant to do some painting in her house. He worked for 14 long hours, did a great job, but now is being stiffed on his pay. That's right, the kooky woman refuses to pay him the $1,090 he's owed. He's been in business 40 years and has never run into a problem like this. So he's suing. This is the defendant, Sandra Schneider. She says the plaintiff did not do 14 hours of work on her house. The paint job he did doesn't match nicely with the walls he didn't paint, and she doesn't owe him a dime. The plaintiff was working for a carpenter who was also doing work in her house. He's the one the plaintiff should go to for payment because she had no deal with him, and that's that. She's accused of painting the guy into a corner. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $3,360, the money she now needs to spend correcting all of the plaintiff's bad work.
All parties, please raise your right hands. People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Milian presiding. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Searles, you have been working for Ms. Schneider for quite a bit of time, right?
Well, on 3 different occasions, Your Honor.
And there's never been a problem with payment. She has always paid you by the hour, correct?
Yes, except for the 3rd time.
Which is why we're here in court. How much is it that you charge her by the hour?
$75 an hour.
For how many years has that been your rate?
That's been my rate for the last 4 years.
Okay, so tell me what brings us to court here today. You did a bunch of work and she didn't pay you. But tell me about what happened. There was, she made a decision she wanted to renovate her kitchen. And you recommended the contractor for her?
I recommended a carpenter, yes, Your Honor, I did. A carpenter that I've done quite a bit of work with. He also has the plumber, the electrician, the roofer. He has all people that he pulls into his jobs to do.
Okay.
And each contractor is paid separately by either him or by the customer.
Okay, Ms. Schneider, there was a problem in the renovation in this case, and what was the problem?
Yes, when they removed the door and the wall, there became a hole in the floor. So the tile floor that I had in my kitchen, you'll see on the exhibit a very large, extremely large hole, no tile underneath the
When you say
cabinets that were
hole,
removed.
what you mean is that the tile did not go underneath the cabinet. So you end up with this area that's untiled, correct?
Yes, and the transition between the dining room and the kitchen where the wall was, yes.
Yes, okay. Well, the wall, I think everybody knew there was going to be a problem because walls aren't usually built on top of tile. So now let me ask you another question.
We didn't expect the wall.
Did you pay the contractor,
Correct.
Yes or no?
Yes, I paid him.
Because my understanding, Mr. Sosa, is that you came in after the contractor and there was a bunch of painting and some finished work. What was it you did for all those hours in her house?
My job was to tape the walls, which was to put the taping on and patch the walls, the new walls that the carpenter built. So the brand new sheetrock. So then I primed the sheetrock and then I put 1 coat of white Dove paint on that.
My question to you, Ms. Schneider, is why aren't you paying the man? It's 14 hours that he didn't get paid plus a small amount, $40 in materials that he fronted for you. Why aren't you paying him? What did he do wrong?
Well, I was contracted for $2,500 to pay for removing the wall. The wall came down and I got a bill and I paid for all the materials on top of the $2,500. So when I was charged $29.95, I believe that Willie's pay was in the $29.95.
Why? Show me where Willie's pays in. Okay, hold on. If you want me to swallow that, you better show me where. Just a second. You tell me how it included the work Willie was doing. Tell me about it. Show it to me in the contract.
Sure, there is no contract.
Oh, well then I guess you can't prove what you're saying, right? And
no,
more to the point.
And I have
more to the point. In your answer to the complaint, you say, besides it's only 10 hours, not 14, because you can see from the text when he clocks in and when he clocks out, right?
I said that all I have was the documentation for what I have, which is in the text, which clearly shows that he was maybe here for 10 hours. And I don't know. I asked him for a detail.
Why are you counting hours
detail,
if you think you already paid him?
Well, that's what I'm trying to say, is that underneath the amount that I paid Adam, I thought that Adam was going to
I know you keep saying that, but Ms. Schneider, in your life, you have never hired Willie in any other way but $75 an hour. You know it, all right? And you also know that, just a second, stop. If you thought that his work was included in Adam's pay, why'd you pay Adam? He wasn't done working yet. I don't think you thought that. I think you're just perfectly happy paying Adam, but then turning around and making Mr. Surly's eat it.
That's absolutely not true. I was
intimidated. Why did you pay Adam in full?
Because I was forced to. He wouldn't leave my house.
So call the police.
He would not leave my house until I paid him in full.
You do not look to me like a shrinking violet. I think you could have picked up the phone, called the police, and said, get them out of here.
That doesn't happen. I wish that would happen, but that doesn't happen. Adam absolutely intimidated me. He forced me to give him a check before he would ever leave my house. Willie shows up the next day. Willie, don't shake your head. We had a discussion about this, and I talked to you about it. I was totally intimidated.
And when Willie showed up the next day, did you tell him, Willie, by the way, I've already paid Adam everything I'm going to pay. So anything that you're doing now, it's included.
I didn't know anything until Willie sent me a document on the day.
Except for, you know, ma'am, that you've already paid the other guy in full, and then he turns around and comes and does 14 hours of work that you think that you've already paid somebody else in full for.
Show me the 14 hours of work you did, Willie.
Willie, do nothing of the sort. Willie, stop.
Okay.
You answer questions from me, not from her. Ms. Schneider, not only can you not prove that all of Mr. Surly's work was supposed to be included in Adam's stuff, I also see where you keep asking Mr. Surly's to do this and do that in all of the texts. I see it. You know you're paying him the same way you've always paid him.
You want to show me the other time he worked for me?
Listen to me. Listen to me.
He helped me with my closet.
Stop talking over me. You keep asking him to do stuff, and he's supposed to just do it for free, and I am not buying it. You have a counterclaim against him for $1,700 in labor for the flooring. Why would he pay for labor for the flooring to fix a flooring problem?
I have a counterclaim because the whole thing that he set up cost me to have to replace the kitchen floor. An expense I had no intention of doing.
Mr. Surly's, I think you need to start pumping some iron because apparently you're not big enough and you're not scary enough for her to pay you, but apparently Adam is.
Right.
So he should eat $1,700 for the flooring. He should eat $931 for the materials of the flooring. He should eat the estimated labor to complete the wall repairs and paint. He should eat the paint materials for the dining room. He should eat all that because you're mad at Adam for charging you and scaring you and intimidating you.
No, ma'am. What I'm mad at is that I had additional cost for a job that.
So why don't you sue Adam?
I wanted to have the work.
Adam's no longer in your house. Why don't you just sue Adam? See, you didn't turn around, wait until the big scary guy left, and then file a lawsuit against Adam. What you did instead was you nailed him because you figured he wouldn't come to court and get it out of you. That's what happened. You figured he wouldn't chase you.
Him.
Well, guess what?
I didn't sue him.
I am going to award the plaintiff. No,
Willie,
that's right. You didn't sue him. You should have sued Adam. If you think that Adam didn't do his job, intimidated you, robbed you, because Adam is so big and intimidating that you felt you didn't have a choice but to give him money, and didn't complete the stuff that he had to complete, sue Adam. But no, I'm not going to let you take it out on the guy who works by the hour.
Let me ask,
therefore,
is that okay for Willie not to complete the job either? This isn't.
Darling, Willie doesn't work for you if you don't pay him. See, Willie works by the hour, not by the job. He works by the hour. So who do you think is going to keep working for you for free when you don't pay up what you clearly already owe? He would have gone back there. He'd happy to make $75 an hour, especially in this climate. But he's not going to let you take advantage of him. So I'm ruling in your favor, Mr. Surly's, for the $1,090.
I'm the homeowner.
$1,090. You're not taking advantage of. You're trying to take advantage. Okay?
I am not.
You're trying to take advantage.
Sue him.
I'm ruling in favor of the plaintiff, and on your counterclaim, 0. No, you just stiffed him.
So the plaintiff is going to get his money, the $1,090. Ms. Snyder, who had sued for $3,360, gets zero. Let's see how she feels about it. Ms. Snyder, tell me what you're thinking right now.
I'm disappointed to see that a judge believes that a homeowner should be taken advantage of by an hourly contractor who starts the job and never completes it, sends an email and a text saying, "I'm not coming back, and you owe me $10.50, $10.90." No details, no nothing. It's absurd. It's a disappointment, and they cost me a lot of money in damages.
Well, the judge pointed out you sued the wrong person for a lot of the money you're after. In any event, he is going to get paid.
I didn't sue him. I counterclaimed. He sued me.
You put it onto this suit against Mr. Searles, and that doesn't count. It won't fly. Not in this court, anyway. Sorry about that. That's the judge's decision. You owe him the $1,090, and he's going to get it. Mr. Searles, let me ask you something. I think she may have been surprised that you filed a lawsuit against her. You think that's the truth?
I'm sure she was very surprised that I did this. And I gave her ample warning that she was pushing me to that point where all she had to do was pay me. And you know what? It's just like Walmart. If you go in there and you act like a fool and they kick you out, they do not have to let you back in. Well, she acted like a fool and didn't want to pay me. And there was no way I was going back to work for her anymore. She lost one of the best painters in Fairfield County. Thanks.
Well, congratulations. You're finally going to get your money. Good for you. Everybody's cheering. All right, let's see what the judges had to say about this now. It's time for another session of After the Verdict. Here's Judge Millian with her husband, Judge John.
Well, Marilyn, nobody really chooses to go and file a lawsuit and chase payment that way unless they have a screw loose, unless they really genuinely feel like they got stiffed.
Well, he worked and worked and worked, and she didn't pay. She wouldn't pay. She ignores his text. She won't pay. It's like, you still got work to do. Well, yeah. Well, when I get paid for the work I have done, I will go do more work. But he's an hourly employee. She just finished saying in the hall, an hourly employee. She knows he's an hourly employee.
Right, and certainly, even if there's no explicit contract that binds the two of them, under law, you have the obligation as a judge, under the theory of quantum meruit, or as much as deserved, to go ahead and provide the payment back
to the person who put all that work in her house.
It's an unjust enrichment.
But I really, based on those emails and all the other conversation, all their other jobs, it was always $75 an hour, and she knows it.
Right.
She's just taking out on him. It's kind of a bully, really, because she's afraid of Adam, and then she doesn't.
He didn't refuse to leave.
And she said, "I didn't sue him. He sued me." No, you just didn't pay him, so he had to sue you instead of going to Adam. If you think Adam didn't do what he was supposed to do and intimidated you into paying, and you're out all this money, what does she really think, that just because he recommends Adam, she ended up picking Adam?
Right.
So if she's not happy, then don't pay Adam or sue Adam after you paid him. But she's going to turn around on an hourly employee.
Right.
And say you're not getting a penny until you keep continuing to work for me for free?
She was going to hang it on him, and certainly it shouldn't be his obligation that the wall was removed and those things were done when that was
Of course, it's not only that. I'm not even sure that the contractor did anything wrong.
Right.
I think that the professional should be talking to the person. But, he's not here to defend himself. For all we know, he did tell her, hey, there could be tile, there could not. You and I have been in this position a million times.
Absolutely.
Sometimes there's tile underneath, and sometimes there's not, because it's a remodeling job that happened 20 years ago.
You don't know what's behind
and that you don't know what's behind it. Sometimes you can go under and see and drill and kind of make a little hole and see, and sometimes you can't. But that's part of home ownership.
Absolutely. Look, I got a soft spot in my heart for painters. I painted a lot of houses inside and out before I went to college and law school.
Put you through high school.
Absolutely.
Spending money.
Well, he's going to get paid.
Good.
LaDamian from Danbury wants to know, can a gust of wind be used as a defense for a branch coming down and damaging my house for insurance purposes? So this is interesting. If the wind blows and you had no knowledge that the tree was compromised and it breaks, the insurance company should cover that. If, on the other hand, that you knew there was damage to this tree and you ignored it and it wasn't a huge wind gust, you might have a problem. That'll do it for this case. Let's go back into the courtroom. The litigants are there.